Right now it's not bad.
Good afternoon, everyone. Res Radio's on the air, and we're here with a local artist and
Author.
and introduce yourself to the folks of Res Radio for all.
Okay, my name's Dr. Larry Murillo, and I'm a public health professional, and I've been working with Native tribes and communities for over 40 years in a variety of places. And after I finished working, I decided I wanted to start writing down about my experiences, all these things that I've collected information about, and people that I've talked to and known, so that I could write books about public health and culture. And it's really been fun for me because the way Native people think about health, and when I say Native, actually anywhere in the world they think this way, but for some reason here in this country they want to listen to the biomedical people, as if that's the only way to talk about health is through the physical part of your body. But anybody that cares about their health knows that there's more to it than that. And the part that most people, even if they're into holistic medicine or things like that they don't talk about is the context of your life, meaning how do you feel about your life, how do you remember it, how do you interpret it, what kinds of things affect you, because those things over time can become things like chronic disease, more acute kind of disease, migraine headaches, arthritis. There's just a variety of things that the way you feel about your life can present themselves in your body. So your body is actually trying to teach you about yourself and what things you need to work on, and that's how those older people talk. And so I'm writing about that, what that means, and I'm going to write 8 books minimum. And just finished my 3rd one, which is called I See a Soul. That's one David was talking about. And the next 4 or 5 are going to be different each one of them, and they'll contribute to this idea that I've got about talking about culture and health. So I'm really excited about that, and it's been enjoyable. Some people are saying that's no way to retire. It doesn't sound like you're working harder than ever. And I go, well, this is the kind of work that I could really live with. I mean, this is something that it's not just about enjoying it and doing it. It's also about when there are elders that pass away,
Mm-hmm.
and you wish you had remembered some of the things they had told you or have written down, or just anything for your family, then see, this is my way of doing that for a lot of people that have shared with me over the years. And there's so many different things that I learned that, I virtually have probably about 5,000 pages of text that I can use to write books with, plus my memory.
That's like the other day I went to ISU to look at their newspaper archives. Because as you know, I've started the Res Radio, and what I'm talking about is things in the past and people. It's not about issues. It's about the people,
right,
who are involved
and their lived experiences,
and the experiences you have with them.
Right.
And I was so surprised at how many articles a week I was actually writing in that paper.
That's a great idea, though. Because you can capture things that people probably don't know about anymore.
Well, and the sad part is, Larry, you're used to this. All the different things that our tribe has done throughout the years. This tribe was a leader in a lot of things, a lot of areas. And now you're taking us back to traditional health, right? That's what your books are about.
Yeah, and I prefer to use the word cultural, because traditional is a good way to start an argument. It's kind of like religion or
right.
things like that.
Because then the argument is, whose customs and traditions are we talking about, right?
Yeah, you could be from the same tribe and you'll argue about that, or even from the same family you could argue about that. So that's a good point you raised, because when I wrote the book, I deliberately left out names of people, their tribal affiliations, the geographical area they're from. And the reason why is because I wanted to stay away from those kinds of thoughts, because whenever you have a label of any kind, there's always preconceived ideas about that, and sometimes people aren't even listening after that. And so the stories that I write, because most of what the books are going to be about stories. I'd rather people pay attention to what these older people are saying in their stories than worry about where they're from or labels like historical trauma and just there's so much. It's
Political correct
just,
stuff.
and professional stuff too, because
Well, I couldn't believe when I was looking at my writings, I'm going, wow, that's not politically correct these days. But that's the way we talked in those days.
yeah, that's right. And we have a different way of talking,
Yeah.
just changing terms and things like that. And I honestly believe that part of that, when Native professionals get trained in the mainstream and they start using the same labels that everybody else is doing, they're using those same labels to define who we are as people.
Right.
And I'm tired of that. I'm really tired of that. And and the younger people, when you get trained and you think, oh, I'm a master's level or doctoral level or whatever level you are, and this is important training that you did, and I would agree with that. But the words that they tend to use to describe communities is what is destructive or can be harmful to the way that people see our community, especially professionals or policy or things like that are vital, and we all know that. And so we got to start training ourselves to see through that and start being able to articulate or to word things that help people see our true situation, not by labeling, but by what's going on in our community.
And can you do me a favor, please,
Sure.
and introduce yourself the way that we expect young people to introduce themselves to us elders?
Oh, Nahaniak, Larry, Murillo. So I can't remember exactly how to say it in the language, but Agaiduka, meaning that's where I'm from, the Salmon area.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other way that I would introduce myself for people is to let people know who my family is.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was Ida Shea Murillo, and she's from the Salmon Lemhi area. She's Agaiduka, and that's where she grew up. My dad's from Mexico, but the interesting thing about that is that he was born in an area where they speak Shoshone language.
Wow.
And that's in Guanajuato. And not only that, but I'm learning...
And his name was?
Oh, I'm sorry, Florentino Murillo. And he... so actually, in a sense, I'm Shoshone on both sides without realizing it. Mm-hmm. Most people would look at me as Mexican or whatever that is, and I don't see myself that way because... one day I was visiting with a lady and she had red hair. She was very white and all this in appearance. And she said, oh, I'm Mexican, when I asked her, what her ethnicity was. And I said, really? I said, well, where's your family from? She goes, oh, Russia. So, that just tells you that is nothing more than just a country. And that people are identifying that way. And within Mexico, Central and South America, people are becoming more and more aware of the fact that they do belong to certain groups of people and tribes that have their own languages and all that stuff. They just don't know that yet. And then, of course, there are the ones that do know that, and those people are so fun to talk to because they can tell you all kinds of things.
All right. Well, Dr. Murillo,
Uh-huh.
thank you for being with us on Res Radio today. And where can they get your books at?
They can get it on Amazon, and there's 3 formats for this book. There's ebook, paperback, and hardback, hardcover. And I'm hoping soon, as soon as I get some money together, I'm going to make it in an Audible and also in different languages, such as Spanish. So once I do that, then there'll be more books available in that way.
Now, we have the Spring Fiesta coming up in 2 weeks. Are you going to be there for people who want to get your book
Yes.
and meet you?
I would encourage people to come out to that event on Saturday, May 9th, because I will be there. I will have books available, because I have 3 actually, including the one I just wrote. And that way you can also chat with me and hear why this book is important, not just because I'm selling it, but because of the ideas in it and how it could really be helpful to maybe even change the culture of healthcare in this country, to quit focusing so much on pharmaceutical profits and the physical aspects of health, to maybe let's talk to each other and find out what's bothering us, and maybe that'll help us let go of what we're suffering from.
Okay, so that's
that.
2 weeks. It's about 3 weeks coming up here at the Fort Hall Casino. It'll be in the parking lot, and you'll be able to meet him. He can sign your books. Heck, this is your opportunity to actually meet an author.
Thank
so,
you.
come on by. Larry, thanks for being with us.
Of course,
today.
David. Thanks.
All right.
Okay.
Res Radio's out.